So we've seen a lot of capability in terms of observability that are provided in the Gloo Platform UI, but we can do much more, right? So as a reminder, right, we collect all these metrics through this OpenTelemetry collector on each cluster, and we send them to the collector where the management cluster is running, right? But we can configure it to collect even more metrics, and we can build some nice Grafana dashboards to also help operating Gloo Platform itself and see if everything is behaving correctly. So let's just deploy here Grafana so that we can see this dashboard in action. And we are also going to add the dashboard that we have already created for this demo. So just wait for the stack to be deployed. So we just deploy here you can see this monitoring namespace. So we create another Prometheus stack. We don't expect people to use the Prometheus that is used by the UI, but really to use their own Prometheus stack that is probably already running in their environment, and where they already probably have Grafana and so on. So basically shipping all these metrics to this instance. So that's why we deploy this stack here. We create the config map for the dashboard, and then what we can show is that we are able to define some alerts, so that, for example, when one agent becomes disconnected, you see that reflected in the dashboard and so on, right? So let's start by looking at the dashboard right now. So if I look at the services here, I have this IP that I can use to access the dashboard. Okay, now I can see here that I have some nice information here about the way the management server is behaving in terms of the time it takes to translate the different Istio resources. We can see the number of agents that are connected. So again, if one is disconnected, then we are going to see it here. We can see even here that we have some alerts that are already defined by default, that are going to be triggered if one of the agents goes down, for example, right? So that's what I was about to do here. So if I scale down the agents in cluster 1 here, right, then we will have this alert here that is going to be shown when we look at the Gloo Platform alerts in the dashboard, right? So if we look at this here, we have some alerts for different latency, if it starts to be too slow to translate, or if there are some translation errors, or these kind of things, right? But here we just disconnected the agent, so as soon as it will reach out a predefined threshold, this is going to be changing the states from normal to pending, and then from pending to fired or something like that, right? So it's going firing here. So we can just wait. Here we see pending, right? We are not going to wait for the firing state, but you see that shows you how we can use these metrics generated by the platform itself to get these alerts generated and so on. So let me scale it back to 1. We can also configure the agents that we already deployed with some additional configuration if we want to collect some extra information. So here, for example, we are going to tell the OpenTelemetry collector on cluster 1 that we want also to collect some Istio metrics, and we are going to do a rollout restart of the daemon sets that correspond to the collector on cluster 1, so that it takes into consideration like this new configuration that we have submitted. And we can also now import these other dashboards so that we can see here, like if we go back to home, then we are going to have like this Istio control plane dashboards, and very quickly just needed to wait a little bit for all the new resources to be collected, and then we are going to start seeing some metrics coming here, right? So we can see the version of Istio, we can see the resource used, and we get some nice metrics showing us like how Istio itself is behaving, right? So I'm not going to wait more, right? It doesn't really make much sense, but you see the idea, right? So we get like these Gloo platform metrics that are really useful to make sure that all the agents are connected, all the metrics are flowing correctly, all the translation is happening correctly, so getting some high-level performance data. But you can also get like these Istio dashboards for each control plane, making sure that Istio itself on each cluster is behaving correctly, and getting the ability to define some alerts as well based on these metrics.